All right, so in this video, we are going to talk about how to determine the tip and the total cost of a bill. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, what is a tip? A tip is also called gratuity. So if you see the word gratuity, that's important to know that that means tip. And what it is it's an amount, so a dollar amount that is added to a bill for a service. So you usually tip when you go to restaurants or if you get your hair done and for any other service. So we're still going to use the same proportion, or sorry, percent proportion, where we have the part over the whole and the percent over the 100. Now, with the tip, we're going to take the actual bill and add the gratuity to it in order to find the total cost. When we do discounts, we subtract it. But in this case, we are giving more money away, so we're going to add it to the bill. So let's look at the first example. Leslie's lunch bill is $13.95, and she wants to leave a 15% tip. How much should her tip be? So in this case, it's asking us how much the actual tip is. It is not asking us the total cost. So all we need to do is figure out the tip. So we're going to make a blank proportion. Our percentage is 15. That's going to go over 100. Now the whole lunch bill is $13.95, and our X is going to go right here because we're trying to find what the tip is. We're going to cross multiply. 100 times X is 100X, and then you're going to use your calculator to do 13.95 times 15, and you're going to get 209.25. Box your variable. Divide both sides by 100, and you're going to get X equals 2.0925. Now, you have to remember that money only goes to two spaces after the decimal. And here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers after the decimal. So this 2 is going to tell this 9 to stay the same. And so our answer is her tip is going to be $2.09. All right, next problem. So Ben's dinner bill is $12.15. If he leaves a 20% tip for the waitress, what will be his total cost? Now in this problem, it's asking us the total cost, not just the tip. So first we need to figure out the tip, doing the same thing we just did in the last problem, and then we're going to add it to the original bill. So we're going to make a blank proportion. Our percentage is 20, and that always goes over 100. Our total bill so far is $12.15, and I'm trying to find out the tip. We're going to cross multiply. 100 times X is 100X. And then in your calculator, you're going to do 12.15 times 20, and you're going to get 243. Box your variable. Divide both sides by 100. And you're going to get X equals 2.43. This is the actual tip, but it's asking us what is the total cost. So I need to take the tip and add it back to the bill. So the bill was $12.15. I'm going to add the tip, which is $2.43, and I'm going to find the sum. 5 plus 3 is 8. 1 plus 4 is 5. Bring down the decimal. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then 1. So the total bill is going to be $14.58. And that's the bill plus the tip. Next question. Tracy's dinner bill is $8.50. If she wants to leave a 15% tip, how much gratuity will she leave? And what is her total cost? So there's two questions here, and I'm going to have to answer both of them. First, how much is the gratuity, which is another word for tip? And second, what's the total cost? So I'm going to make a blank proportion. My percentage is 15 over 100. Right now, the bill is $8.50, and I'm trying to figure out the part, which is going to be the tip. I'm going to cross multiply. 100 times X is 100X. Then we're going to do 8.50 times 15, which is going to be 127.5. Box the variable, divide both sides by 100. That cancels. So x equals 1.275. Now, before I answer both questions, I'm going to go on to, or before I answer the first question, I'm going to go on to find the total cost. I want to leave this with 3 numbers after the decimal because I would prefer to round at the end for the most accurate number. So I'm going to take the total cost here, which was $8.50, and I'm going to add the gratuity, 1.275, 577, bring down the decimal, 9. Now, this is going to be the total cost, but I need to round it because I have 3 numbers after the decimal and I only need 2. This 5 is going to tell this 7 to go up. So the total bill is going to be $9.78. And that's the total. But the other part of the question is asking us what the gratuity is, the tip, which is this number right here. Now, when I give this answer, I want to go ahead and round it. This 5 tells this 7 to go up. So the tip is going to be $1.28. All right, example 4. Jacob and Michael went out to dinner. Together, their bill was $23.45. They split the bill and they each left an 18% tip. How much does Jacob leave as a tip? First thing I need to do is split this bill. So I'm going to do 2 into 23.45. And you can go ahead and use a calculator for that. So $23.45 divided by 2. And that's going to give me 11.725. Now, I'm not done with the problem, so I'm not going to round the number. I only round the number at the end of the problem. So this is how much Jacob's bill is, but now I need to figure out how much his tip is. So I'm going to make a blank proportion. My percent is 18. That's going to be over 100. His bill is 11.725, and I'm trying to figure out the tip. I'm going to cross multiply. 100 times x is 100x. And then 11.725 times 18 is going to be 211.05. Box the variable, divide both sides by 100. This cancels. So x is going to equal 2.1105. Now, the question is just asking me the tip. It doesn't want to know the total cost, so I don't need to go back and add this in. What I do need to do, though, is I need to round because this is not an acceptable way to write money. So this 0 is going to tell this 1 to simply stay the same. So Jacob's tip is $2.11. Next question. Mr. Barron treats all 172 Panthers team students to lunch at Red Robin. The total bill is $1,560. He leaves a 15% gratuity. What is the total bill including the gratuity? Remember that gratuity is another word for tip. So it's asking me the total. So first I'm going to find the tip and then add it back to the original bill. So I make a blank proportion. The percent is 15, always over 100. The total bill was 1,560, and I'm trying to find the tip. So I'm going to cross multiply. 100 times x is 100x, and then 1560 times 15 is going to be 23,400. I'm going to box the variable, divide both sides by 100. X equals 234. So just the tip is going to be $234, but it wants to know the total bill. It doesn't want to know just the tip. So I need to add that back into the total. So The total is $1,560 plus $234. This is 4, this is 9, 7, and 1. So the total bill is $1,794, and that includes the tip. Next question. Hallie and Rachel go to Starbucks for some coffee. Their total bill was $15.62. They left a 15% tip. How much did Hallie and Rachel pay? So it's asking how much did they pay? That's not just the tip, that's the total price. So I'm going to make a blank proportion. My 15% goes on top, 100 on the bottom. The bill is the whole. It's going to go 15.62, and my x goes up here because that's the part, that's the tip. I'm going to cross multiply. 100 times x is 100x, and then 15.62 times 15 is 234.3. Box the variable, divide both sides by 100. This cancels, so x equals 2.343. But again, they don't want to know just the tip. They want to know how much did they pay in total. So I need to take this tip, add it back onto the original bill. So $15.62 plus 2.343. I'm going to add that up. And I get 17.963. Now that is not an acceptable way to write money because money can only go 2 spots after the decimal. So this 3 is going to tell this 6 to stay where it's at. So my total cost, including the tip, is $17.96. All right, next example. Miss Chapman threw a birthday party for her younger son. She tipped the party organizer $17,000 for making it a party. How much of a gratuity did Miss Chapman leave for the organizer? So I actually forgot to put how much she paid in here. So we're going to say that she paid $2,000 and she tipped 17%. So we're going to make a blank proportion. This 17 goes right here, always over 100. The total cost of her party was $2,000, and our x goes here because we're trying to figure out the 17% tip. We're going to cross multiply. 100 times x is 100x. 2,000 times 17 is 34,000. I'm going to box the variable, divide both sides by 100. That cancels. X is going to equal 340. Now, all it's asking is how much gratuity. And remember, gratuity is another word for tip. So how much of a tip did she leave? It does not want to know the total cost. So she left a $340 tip for the birthday party. Oops. All right, example 8. Ishan bought dinner for some friends at Panera. She paid $34.90. Then she went back and bought a cookie for $1.09. The service was so good that she left an 18% tip. How much did she pay in total? So first, I need to figure out what her total bill was because first she paid $34.90, then she went back and bought a cookie. So $34.90 plus $1.09. So I'm going to add these up. So right now her bill is $35.99. Now I can go ahead and make my blank proportion. 18%, always over 100. The bill was $35.99 and the X is going to go up here. I'm going to cross multiply. 100 times X is 100X. 35.99 times 18 is going to be 647.82. Box the variable, divide both sides by 100. This is going to cancel. X equals 6.4782. Now, going back to the question, they want to know the total. They do not want to just know the tip. So I need to take this tip and add it back to the total. So 35.99 plus 6.4782. We're going to add this up. All right, now I got this 42.4682. That is the total, but that's not an acceptable way to write money. I can only have two numbers after the decimal. So this 8 is going to tell this 6 to go up, and then we're going to get rid of the rest. So my total cost is $42.47. Next example. Phillips and his three friends ate at Applebee's. Their total bill was $52.35. If they left their server a 20% gratuity, how much would each person pay if they divided the bill evenly? So, first of all, it's Phillips and his three friends. So that's 4 people in total. So I'm going to go ahead and divide the bill by 4. And you can use your calculator, 52.35 divided by 4. And I'm going to get 13.0875. Now I need to figure out how much the tip is. So I make a blank proportion. 20% is the tip, always over 100. Each person is going to pay 13.0875, and the x goes up here because that's the tip I'm trying to find. I'm going to cross multiply. 100 times x is 100x. And then 13.0875 times 20 is going to be 261.75. Box the variable. Divide both sides by 100. X equals 2.6175. Now, this is just the tip. I need to add this back into what each person is paying. So 13.0875 plus 2.6175. I'm going to add those up. We get 15.7050. Now that's not an acceptable way to write money. I can only have two numbers after the decimal. This 5 is going to tell the 0 to go up, and we get rid of the rest. So the total price per person is $15.71. Last example. A magazine at a newsstand says that it's $12.99. You purchase the magazine and tip the salesperson 12%. What do you pay in total? So we want the total. So we're going to make a blank proportion, 12% over 100. The cost is $12.99, and we put our X here because this is the tip that we're trying to find. We're going to cross multiply. 100 times X is 100X. $12.99 times 12 is going to be 155.88. Box the variable, divide both sides by 100. X equals 1.5588. Now again, it's asking for the total, so I need to add that back to the total. So 12.99 plus 1.5588. I'm going to add those up. 14.5488, but that's not an acceptable way to write money. Only two spots after the decimal. So this 8 is going to tell this 4 to go up, and we get rid of the rest. So the total cost is going to be $14.55 for the magazine. All right, that is the end of this tip video. Make sure that you get a lot of practice.